And we are live right now.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So tonight we're gonna be sitting here and we're gonna be talking about what if you just cruise along, your normal day, and freaking boom, either an apocalypse type scenario or zombie apocalypse scenario pops off, and you're with your buddies, your families and stuff are safe, and you're like, we need supplies. What's your first move? Most likely Palmetto State Armory, Cabela's type place.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that. But first, Ty's the only one drinking coffee. I'll probably go get some coffee in a second. But what we're drinking tonight is some. Here, you do the coffee ad for us, Michael. You're good at
Okay.
stuff like this.
The coffee ad. This is Black Rifle Coffee Company's Lava Panther. And it's a medium roast. And that's about all it says on it. But it looks like a pretty rad
Oh yeah,
bag.
This is good.
All right, hold it up the camera right quick. Okay, there you go. Bam.
Sponsor us.
That would be dope. All right. So recently, me, Ty, and Michael have all been not recently. Oh shit. Me and Ty and Michael, or at least me and Ty. Me and Ty have been creating our little bug out bags. Actually, I got mine right here. Just has all the goodies in it. So we can talk more about that in a little bit. But that's what we've kind of been into
Yeah.
lately. Ty's been heavily into it.
Yeah,
And
it's
actually,
bad.
I've been meaning to ask you what made you think of that? Because I know we've talked about it before and as a men's group and stuff like that, but what made you go out and actually do it?
Well, remember when you came to my house and we shot?
Yeah.
You were telling you said it was like a range bag. You brought your backpack, had whatever in it. Well, then I was like, I should just go buy one. And then I had nothing to put in it. So then I went on this long venture and spent too much money filling it with stuff that I'll probably never use. But yeah, it's fun though.
So what bag did you get, or where did you get it at?
Cabela's 511.
That's
That
good
thing's
stuff.
sweet too.
Will you go and ship that out for me? So I had my little range bag, and I got that from Mackenzie's dad just for a gift.
Mm.
And at first I was kind of like, what am I going to use this for? And not that I didn't love it, because I love bags and stuff like that. I just love that type of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
But I was trying to find a use for it. And the first time I went shooting, I had all my guns and all my crap in the car, and I just had boxes of ammo. I had my headphones. I had some Target stuff, and I had to we go shooting at Mackenzie's grandparents' house. So we park at their house, and then we walk down through the woods to this little opening, and it's perfect because it's a little bit slight downhill, and then it goes across the river, and the land goes straight up. So it's actually a really good place to shoot. But I'm carrying everything down there.
Yeah.
I can use that friggin' bag for that. Because I'd always take my shotgun shells, and you have to pick them up. You have a bag for it, so I just would stuff them in one of the pockets or whatever.
Yeah.
So after I went shooting once or twice, I was like, sweet, that's what I'm using it for. So then I'd carry my gun in it, ammo, the little ear pro things, all that type of stuff.
Well, too, how I started my those little roadside emergency assistance bags?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're little bags with a bunch of stuff. Well, I found them, so I'm just looking through them, and I'd already bought in my backpack. I knew I wanted to do something with it. It had a med pack, a wrench, whatever, bunch of stuff. And that's when I really got the idea to go and deck it out.
Yeah, that's dope. So I saw yours. So this is what happened. So Ty comes back. He's like, oh yeah, I made my own bag. And he no, first it was a video. You sent a video to the group chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like-
yeah.
That.
Every single pocket
Yeah.
had something in it. And I'm like, man, mine sucks. So I'm like, I gotta step up my game. So I came over that one night. I saw
Yeah.
yours. You showed me everything, and I'm like, okay, this is freaking dope. And then you told Connor about it. Connor's like, oh, that'd be really cool. So we went and bought him one.
Yeah.
And I had stuff for going to the range, but I don't have anything to take with me every day. So that's why I bought that bag that I just showed everybody, just for something to carry every day. I was telling Michael earlier Like I'd be walking out the door and I'd have like phone, keys, wallet, and dip, and I'm like sunglasses. I'm like holding it all in my hands, and then I'm also like carrying my lunchbox or something. I'm like, okay, this sucks.
Yeah, or you get in the car and you have to empty your pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's annoying.
so I'm like, throw it all in a bag and then just bring it to the car. And then, so like not that long ago, I don't know, like an hour ago or something, me and Michael were going to the store
Yeah.
because Mackenzie needed a new vape. And so I walked in here and my wallet and everything's in my bag. So I grabbed my bag and Catherine's like looking at me like, where are they going? And,
Yeah.
and so Michael's like, yeah, she was wondering why you're carrying a bag. And I'm like, nah, it just has all my stuff in it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what turned me on to like this kind of subject. But let me give you guys a real backstory. So we're gonna do kind of like a hypothetical thing, and like what if scenarios, and we're just gonna have fun with this. But all the time, like me and Dex, my brother, and the other host Dexter, which he couldn't fucking make it tonight,
Yeah, I know.
so piss off. But so we'd always be like doing whatever, and he'd be like, you know, zombie apocalypse. We'd be like walking through Cabela's, be like, zombie apocalypse breaks off. What are you grabbing? And I was like, damn, like that's a good question. Like,
Yeah.
because you know when you're there, you're like, I got $100. You know, I could kind of get this or get that. But if it was like a free for all, and you could just grab stuff, like I could think of a million things to grab. So to get started, let's just kind of go around the table, and I'm gonna say to start off, zombie apocalypse. We're gonna start with that. But
Yeah.
what are the 5 items you grab first?
You
And
get-
we'll go, Michael.
You get 5.
Just the first 5.
Okay,
the
so
first
I-
5.
Because you had mentioned this topic before, and I had like one thing in mind, because if there's zombies, there's one thing that you always need. But if I'm gonna go with 5, I'll start maybe on the smaller things. Probably some sort of firearm. I don't know if I'd do a rifle or pistol, because I thought about that for a while. Like, would you want a rifle or a pistol? Obviously, like rifle, you could shoot a little bit further away more accurately, but then like, do you need to be engaging zombies far away, or do you just have it for close up?
Good point.
So
And
maybe,
you have nothing starting,
Wait,
right?
hold on.
yeah.
Are,
What?
are we doing slow zombies, or are we doing like what's the TV show, The Walking Dead? Are we
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
like that style zombie, or are we doing like World War Z?
We can't do World War. You don't. There's
Yeah,
no
no,
surviving in World
yeah,
War
no.
Z.
Okay.
You're just done.
We're like
Like normal zombies.
season one of Walking Dead, like that style.
Yeah,
How about-
Yeah.
is that-
slow and walk.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they hear noise. You know, the typical like zombie stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll start there.
Yeah. So I would get. I guess I'd probably say like a high caliber pistol. And do you have to have like ammunition as like the second item?
No, okay. If you're gonna say a gun, we can count ammo.
Okay, so you got some ammo.
Yeah.
How
How much ammo?
all of it.
Yeah, literally.
Are you just like the arm across the shelf?
Just if you have a bag, ammo.
Oh.
Every last bit. I'd probably do 45 and just grab it all.
Oh, that's okay. So,
Um,
that's one. You know, you gotta have a firearm.
Yeah.
So 2 is a fishing pole. And
Ooh.
I'll even do another one, 3 to have tackle.
Okay.
So fishing pole and tackle.
And if we're in Cabela's, perfect place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got everything we need in there. Maybe some sort of like emergency food supply kit
Mm-hmm.
with like hopefully some sort of water purification, emergency food.
Oh,
all
they
that.
got them at Cabela's. We were looking.
Yeah. So what's that? 4,
Yeah.
and then the 5, the big one. The zombie apocalypse happens. You need this. Is I would go and get like the nicest, biggest boat that they have there. Hook up to that
Oh.
boat and go to the nearest large body of water. Because if zombies are here, I'm gonna be on a boat fishing, catching fish and eating that. Hopefully, purifying
Never
water.
thought of that.
Never thought of that either.
Yeah, dude, if zombie apocalypse breaks off, just go find an island.
That's the thing. And
Okay, now you just
All right.
ruined it.
Yeah. No matter what we say, it's
Yeah, you just ruined it.
you should have saved me for last then, I guess.
No, that's cool. That's good. So I never even thought of that. That's
I don't
so
think
good.
I've ever heard anyone say that.
Well, all these zombie movies, and it's like they're running around cities, and then they go out to like the farmland and like countryside, and it's like you were just in New York City, dude. Like the water's right there. Hop on a boat. And I don't think zombies can swim.
Yeah, but what if you can't, like, what if it's a big vessel? What do you do then?
I'd find something smaller, I guess. I don't know.
No, how do you live off the boat then?
That's why I got the fishing pole.
Well, then you got no fuel though. How are you getting
Well,
out?
see that's another thing is if we were gonna throw that in there and then maybe take an
Yeah.
item away and get a fuel.
You're gonna have to. You better know how to sail, because if you just drift out there, you're dead anyway.
Well, yeah,
I'll
you
take
need
my chances on one.
No, you need a good anchor for sure.
Maybe you tie like a tether. Like
Yeah,
just
you
like
could
a
be docked.
Super, like at least like I don't know, 100
Or
yards
you,
out
you
there.
just
Yeah.
get friggin'
You just
100
gotta-
yard rope tie and you're just drifting out there connected
that
to the
works.
dock.
But you'd have to drop an anchor so you don't come back.
yeah,
'cause honestly, so I was kind of like playing this scenario through my head, and I was like, I'd be so terrified of like drifting back to shore.
yeah. You're taking a nap, trying to rest up, and
So like you need a really good anchor to hold you where you're at, but also a good rope to hold you not too far away so you
yeah.
don't get taken out in the sea.
Okay, that's good. I did not even think of anything like that. That's really good. Okay, Ty, what are your 5 things?
an airplane. No.
An
Run-
airplane that
run.
never runs out of fuel.
Trez,
Yeah,
Trez, if you're listening, I got you.
yeah. I'm gonna come find you. No, probably an AR-15.
Mhm.
With lots of rounds, obviously.
Okay.
Some sort of med kit, water purifier, and the bags they have there. They're like pre-cooked and stuff.
Oh yeah. Like just add water to them.
Yeah, and then I don't know what else.
Okay, so I can give you my 5 things.
Yeah, let's hear yours.
Okay. So my first stop would actually be to Palmetto State Armory. I'd go down the road to Palmetto State.
Oh, here
first.
we go.
Okay.
Alright, hold on.
Guy's already cheating.
No, you guys might not have thought of this. I would find an AR style or an AR pistol style 22 with the biggest mag and a suppressor. Because all you need to do is shoot the zombie in the head. Their body's already mush. So you don't even need like a you would need a high powered rifle for like other people, or a pistol for other people. But for the zombies,
Will a 22
Will a
take out a
22
zombie?
kill a zombie though?
my research that I've done,
Oh
they've-
boy.
I've heard they said they'd all pick 22 because 22 you can carry an ass ton of ammo. You can load a lot of ammo into a smaller mag. You can carry a lot of it. It's lightweight. It gets the job done as long as you can hit your
And it's pretty
headshots.
quiet too.
It's pretty quiet. You put a suppressor on it. It's really quiet. So that's my first item. I'll count the 22 rifle with a big mag. I'll count that as one. I'll count the suppressor as another one, because that's kind of a.
Well, you could say that you could get that at Cabela's too, right? Or
Well,
maybe not the suppressor.
I've never seen a suppressor at Cabela's.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd say I'd go there. So next thing I'd get is, I want to say boat so bad. I'm not going to. I would say definitely a tent or something to kind of like,
Dude, I ain't
Shelter.
sleeping outside with those zombies out there.
some sort of
crazy.
shelter.
Well, would you? So here's another. Well, actually, you. Could
No, go on, go on.
I was gonna say, because I've thought about. Would you like try to stay like in kind of where there's buildings, communities, not really urban, but even like this, like
Like suburb.
suburban. But there's obviously zombies because there's people. Or would you just try to hoof it as far out into the woods and hope there's no?
I would
Zombies
just
out
want to
there.
be somewhere familiar
Yeah,
where I know their area.
yeah.
If you
Okay.
you're running around and you don't know where you are, and you like even like you see in all the movies, they're go in the big apartment buildings and go to a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I ain't doing
screw
that.
I would not do that. I would at least try to stay somewhere where I kind of knew where I was at.
Yeah.
So back to my list, I'd grab a radio, some sort of like ham radio. or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
that's
that,
a good one.
which I think I asked while we were at Cabela's and they don't have them there. I don't think you can get 'em at
Oh yeah,
Cabela's.
they did.
But you
They
know
do.
what? The
What?
boats might have them on them. I bet they do.
Ooh.
All right, I got a good one once you're done. too.
Okay. And then my 5th thing that I would grab is I'd grab some good clothing. Like all like in thick too. Maybe some leather stuff or like Carhartt stuff, like
Oh yeah.
some really thick clothing, just in case zombie got close. You'd have at least have a little bit of protection. So that would be my fifth thing. If I had to like limit it to like my first 5 things that I would grab, that would be it.
It don't matter how big they are, right?
No.
All right, I'd go to some dealership. I'd get a Peterbilt with a nice big brush guard on it. Go get a trailer and throw a massive cat excavator on the back, full with fuel, and I'd just be spinning that thing.
Okay, real
I'd
quick.
be mauling them.
Totally.
And you can. Have you ever seen the videos of the tractor trailer trucks hitting deer with their brush guards on it?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be booning down the
Have you ever seen the Killdozer?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'd do that.
I would
too,
have a
but
Killdozer.
you would not have time to go and steal it all out and all that.
but still, I don't even think you'd really need to. Well, I guess the zombies could like break the glass and stuff.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, dozers are slow.
Yeah, true.
That's why I'd leave the excavator right on the trailer, dude. They're way too slow to be tracking that thing around. I'd have one of my buddies out there on the back, and I'd just be driving the Pete. He'd be swinging that thing. Dude, we'd be golden. As long as the trailer don't tip.
We'd be freaking gold.
Yeah.
All right, so we
What
do
if you get a bunch of flat tires? So you need like a tracked vehicle, or that you just unload. You both hop in the
Yeah, we'll have
hop
to.
in the excavator together, unload it, take off,
Yeah, going the whole 5 miles an hour. Them things go.
okay.
just spinning in circles
Yeah.
the whole time.
Okay,
That'd
so
be so scary.
So we I talked about Pembroke State. We also talked about Cabela's. Okay, what would be another place you would go to gather supplies? I was gonna say I'd go to either Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Nails. I think me and you have talked about this before, but like
Yeah,
lumber.
And your grocery store too.
Yeah, grab some like extra groceries, but like lumber, tools, like all stuff like that. Because if you needed to, you could freaking take some tree. You know, if you were going, let's say you had a piece of land, or if you were going like somewhere that you knew, but like more out, like
a
rural,
chainsaw.
a chainsaw, like stuff to drop some trees down, like build shelters or whatever. I'd want to kind of create like a freaking badass base. Like that's always been my
Yeah.
dream. Like have like a sick base kind of like set up.
But see, with that, like, would you want to have like a base, or would you want to kind of be like a vagabond,
Like a nomad.
yeah, like a nomad?
I don't know.
Because all I'm picturing is, say you build like this awesome base, and then eventually there's just 100,000 zombies surrounding
Yeah,
you.
eventually they're gonna get through.
Well, that's why. Okay, so that my other part of the plan is you got to set up some freaking sweet traps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for 100,000,
Well, you just gotta be quick.
you just gotta have some
All right.
exit routes.
Well, you could have like deterrents too. Like if they come over to you and they're showing a lot of attention to your place, have like
Oh yeah,
speakers set up on radios and stuff that like,
Tannerite with your Barrett up top,
Oh, that's kind of neat.
far away.
so they see that or hear that and they start going that way, and it gives you time to.
So one of the other things I was thinking about too with this whole subject is, do you guys know how many people are in Greenville County?
I don't know.
No idea.
It's 1 million. Pretty sure it's just over 1 million, just in Greenville County.
Would you go to a less populated area?
Yeah, but my thinking would be, if a zombie outbreak broke out in our area, what's the percentage of people, like regular people to zombie? If there's 1 million, right? Let's just say there's 1 million people in our area.
Well, it depends on what part of the breakout you're at.
And how does it start? Yeah,
Oh,
what part
yeah.
of the breakout you're at?
I'd say it starts.
Because like
I'd
day
say-
one, there's only a couple of zombies,
Yeah, I'd say it starts downtown.
or maybe even
Okay,
only
yeah,
one
It
zombie.
wouldn't take long, dude. There's a lot of people.
I say it starts downtown and it spreads from there. Because that would be fun.
Yeah.
If it started downtown, that would be like the more like, because screw the city people.
Yeah, for real. All their
But-
riots out
Yeah,
there, dude.
yeah,
They're all
yeah.
just getting turned into zombies.
I think you just whack them. But that's where I'd say, if there's 1 million people, let's just say 10,000, 5,000 start off downtown in that area, and it starts to spread. And we'll just say it spreads like let's just say every 5 days it goes out like a couple miles.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know, just something to kind of give.
Well,
us
yeah,
like a
because
time
they're,
frame.
if they're like the typical zombies that just kind of walk slow, and like it would take, because think about it, they're gonna go to like where people are. So in the city, they're gonna be like attacking and eating everyone
Mhm.
right there in the city, and then eventually they're gonna get hungry or bored or whatever the zombies do, and then they're gonna start like going out a little bit further and a little bit further. And
Well, Girthmaster's in our chat right now. Does Girthmaster have anything to say?
Oh, the only other place I'd go is REI.
Oh,
Get some good clothes.
that's a
'Cause I
good
don't-
one.
You know, t-shirt and skinny jeans. I'd rather not be wearing that.
A good pair of boots.
Yeah,
would
that's
be-
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
some
Like
nice
good,
hiking
good
boots.
footwear, good socks.
We
I w-
actually just went before we went up north. We all got nice like hiking boots from REI.
Really? Did you
Yeah.
guys go hiking while you were up there?
No, we were supposed to, but we never did. Oh, me and Catherine did in Acadia. We were supposed to go to Monadnock like with all of us, but it just never happened.
Oh, so the other thing I wanted to ask is what experience would be the closest to some sort of zombie apocalypse that you've had, like realistically? What's like the closest thing you could get to that for like you guys personally? And I'll give you my thing too. And I have some funny
The
stories.
closest thing any person could get to.
No,
a
no,
zombie
that
apocalypse
you personally.
have in the past.
Yeah, just like, you got stranded somewhere or you were out on a hike, just whatever the closest thing that you could like. I've never been in a zombie apocalypse, but this is the only thing I have to try and compare it to type thing.
Oh, I don't
'Cause
know. I might need-
You've been in the Marines, you've done training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you've had
You know what?
some ish.
I actually could have a pretty good example.
Okay, well, shoot.
So when we were training in California at 29 Palms, they have like it's like a whole city set up, and it's like all like made from like shipping containers and stuff, and
Mhm.
it's really good, like realistic training. And they have role players, and I think even these role players are like native, like Afghanistan, Iraq people.
Like, so they look like.
Yeah, and like they speak the language and everything. So like typically the scenarios are somewhere in the Middle East and whatever. And there was one night, it was creepy. So like they have like huge like loudspeakers, and they'll blare like dogs barking, like kind of just like the sounds,
Yeah,
and they'll play like the call to prayer and stuff like that.
Mm.
And
that's a little bit creepy.
Yeah,
so
that'd be
we
sketch.
were in our Humvee, and we had like pushed past like, oh, I don't know exactly what it was, but we had like pushed further into like this city than anyone else was, and we had like a security set up there. I don't know why we had pushed further. I don't really remember much about.
So you guys
like-
were kind of like a bulge.
yeah, we were like pushed out further than anyone. I remember someone saying that. And then all of a sudden I'm in the driver's seat, and we have like all the doors like combat locked and stuff.
Wait, what's combat locked?
So there's like a handle on the Humvee.
Hmm.
You push it down, and it like, I think it's just a regular lock, but we call it combat lock.
Oh,
So basically no one can come in and
Yeah.
open the Humvee. But yeah, this dude, one of my buddies was up in the turret, and he's like, hey, like wake up. And I look up, and we are literally just completely surrounded by
Oh.
people that are, and it even kind of felt like zombies, especially like just waking up. And like,
Wait, so you were asleep.
I was dead asleep. And we were like, I think we were doing like rotating watch. You know,
Yeah.
someone goes up in the gun, and they're on watch to, see if anything's going on or whatever. And I wake up, and we're just surrounded. Like, and I
Oh.
don't think he did. I don't think he like called anyone or like told anyone. And we're just like, and these people are coming up to the Humvee and stuff, and that's just like, obviously in that situation, like that's just very bad. You don't want people getting that close, and it's just in the middle of the night, a bunch of random people, and they were just kind of like slowly, like weirdly walking around.
Oh.
Wait, so is it just your Humvee?
Yeah, it was like we were the only ones
The
even.
only Humvee.
Yeah.
Like, how far away are the other ones? A mile?
Not
or-
within sight.
Okay, not within sight. So you're guys just a solo Humvee.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
Okay.
probably wasn't the best prepared, but someone told us to go there. This was also, when I was I was a PFC, so we just kind of did what we were told.
First class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just remember like everyone's kind of slowly walking around, and he's like, "Hey, wake up! Like I don't know what's going on right now." And I look around, I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, tell him to get away from us." like, have you called anyone? He's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean? What's happening right now? But like when I first woke up, it was just like that eerie and like they had like I don't know, just the way they were like slowly walking around. I'm like,
yeah,
is this
that's
zombies?
Oh, dude, that's crazy. That's good. That's good.
I didn't even
Yeah, that
think
is
of that
good.
until you had
See,
brought up the
I'm good.
scenario.
I'm good thinking of a question. What about you, Ty? Have you ever had, even if it was just like you went out on a hike at nighttime and you kind of got like anything that was just a little bit that you could try your best to like make it similar or compare to some sort of scenario?
I don't know, maybe camping out when we're kids.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Like, you remember when we go camp out?
Yeah.
But
Like out behind
And
Graham's house.
you'd go here, you'd be laying in your tent or whatever, and you hear something, but it's literally just your jackass cousin trying to scare everyone.
Yeah.
Dude,
Goes
that
up
was-
and starts
yeah,
shaking
that
the
was
tent.
Literally all of us would just stick with each other.
So I got a pretty good scenario, and I've told like kind of the story many times, but I think it would be if you were ever in a group of people that weren't like, even if it was your friends, maybe
I know
these
it.
things could still happen, but like let's like something pops off and you kind of just like grab people that you might know or that you at least become a group of whatever people. Anyways, me and my buddy, we go hiking with another group of friends, and we did like it was like an 8-hour hike out into the woods, out into the mountains, and then we camped and then we hiked back. So we all show up, we get there early, we have food and all that shit all packed on our backs, and we get there, and the very first thing you do, you get out of the car and you start walking uphill.
Yeah.
Like the first like 30 minutes, you're supposed to hit a peak, and it's like a super like, it's like just a spot a lot of people go to because it's only like a 20 to 30-minute hike to the first peak, and I think the first peak is like the highest point around or one of the highest points around. So for like minimal hiking, you can get some like really good pictures and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
We showed up there like 5 a.m. We get to the first peak, and right after we get to that peak, we go the wrong way, and we get freaking lost. And we're all like in single file line, and I'm like, I think we went the wrong way because we're going not in the direction and I still have phone service too, so I can look at my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're supposed to be going like east. We're going west right now. And so finally we're like another 20 minutes in. So we all have to turn around. So 30 minutes in, we already have to turn around. So that just is like, maybe that's not totally comparable, but it's like stuff's gonna go wrong, and like
Yeah.
something very simple like that can screw you. So we finally get back to that first peak. We start going the right direction. 10 minutes later, we're kind of coming. It was like you come like up to a peak, you come down a peak, and then you go back up, and then you come down, and then you go back up. And so you're just hitting these peaks. So on our way down, finally we get back to the first peak. We're on our way going east now. Kid slips, freaking twists his knee. The only person who brought medical stuff was me and Darren.
Yeah.
So luckily I had like an ice pack. I had a knee wrap. So
Wasn't this kid also wearing like jeans and like
that was a different kid.
Oh.
That was he was
in like sneakers,
he's wearing no.
Jordans or something?
It was Pumas,
Oh.
the Puma Goodyears in
Yeah.
jeans, and we're going on an 8-hour hike.
Oh my goodness.
But so the nerdy kid twists his knee, messes his knee all up. Like we're like 45 minutes in. We've already gotten lost, and this kid's twisting his knee.
8-hour hike.
Yeah, and we're like,
Oh my goodness.
are we gonna have to freaking?
Just turn around
Yeah,
at this point.
I would have
go
literally
home.
just turned around and been like, yeah, I'm done.
So we keep going, right? That's not even like half of the crap.
Yeah.
So we keep going. We're just going and going and going and going. We finally get to the place where we're gonna camp, and it was a really cool place. It was like a peak that was made out of like quartz. So like everything was quartz, and then like just off the peak was the tree line. So it was barely a peak. Like it was like tree line peak, like
Yeah.
maybe like 15 feet of peak. And so just into the tree line and onto the ground, there's like these massive like quartz boulders everywhere and stuff. It was really, really cool. So we set up like a little campsite spot, and we're kind of just checking everything out. And I'm like, whose idea was it to come here? Blah, 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 whatever. Oh, this person, that person. Well, along the way, everyone was kind of running out of water. And I know how heavy water is. I've at least hiked enough. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
What's the saying with hiking or carrying shit on your back?
Was it
the ounces.
Ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain, or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I knew that going in, and my dad, who loves hiking, he's like, take a bunch of this Tang with you. And I'm like, why? He goes, because if you have to grab water out of a stream and it tastes kind of weird, you can at least throw some like orange Tang in there, and it will like make the taste like a little bit better.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'd do that. Like I'd fill up my water bottle in a stream or whatever, but I had like a couple bottles of water. I had a Camelback. They all just brought like bottles of water.
Like a
Like,
bottle.
like a bottle, like
Oh
a
my
plastic
goodness.
bottle. I think one kid had like one of those like, bigger like hiking bottles.
Yeah.
But I'm like, really? That's what you guys brought? Like the most important thing you can take, water, and that's what you freaking brought. So we get to the campsite. There's no rivers. Some lady was like, oh, we're like, hey, where's the water at? And this lady was like, oh, it's a mile that way, and there's a well. And I'm like, we just got done hiking 8 miles. I got plenty in my bag. I am not going that extra mile.
Yeah.
I found a root system, like you know how like the trail gets cut in to the ground.
Yeah.
So it's like a hill, and the trail is like cut in like this. There's a tree right on the edge, and the roots were like leaking out water like half the speed of like a refrigerator. So I did my Camelback and my like 2 bottles, all out of that, and so I had water.
Yeah.
Like, where'd you get your water from? Like from that tree down there. So that was one thing, the whole water thing, and I think me and Darren carried almost all the food because we had the biggest bags. And so we're like, hey, let's go watch the sunset on the peak. And I like brought my camera up there and like did like a time lapse. The whole time we were up there, one of the kids was freaking smoking weed and ate all of the bacon and all of the bread. Literally all of it.
Oh,
So we had
no.
like eggs and bacon and stuff for breakfast because we knew we were going to have this long hike back.
Yeah.
This kid ate all of the bacon, and he'd just like sizzle. He'd go and then throw it on a piece of bread, one piece of bread and one slice of bacon, wrap it up, eat it. And he ate the whole loaf of bread and the whole pack of bacon we had. And I'm like, I could murder you right now. So guess what we had to eat for the rest of the time? Beanie weenies. What's the name for them though? What's the name? Vienna sausages. That's what we had.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I've had those once before, and I was like, little nibble. I'm like, I'm never eating one of these ever again.
And then you're living
I
off
was
them.
freaking slamming those things. I was so hungry. So, never been in a zombie apocalypse, but went out with some friends, and the amount of failures that happened were just like you can't even count how many. There's so many. So I could only imagine if something real was popping off. Like there'd just be
Better
people.
get some good buddies.
Yeah, some
Oh,
good people who
Those
kinda
dudes
like,
are the type of dudes you trip in a zombie apocalypse just to slow the zombies
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
oh man.
Didn't you say like you guys had to go get wood and stuff for fire, and they're bringing back like twigs? Like
Oh
that
no,
and
dude,
stuff?
that was the best part.
Yeah, that was funny. You
That
gotta,
was
you gotta
the-
say that.
So, oh my god. Okay, so we're out in the woods, right? And please tell me when you get to your campsite, what's the first thing everybody wants to do? Can you guys guess?
Probably start a fire.
Start a
Yeah.
freaking fire.
Yeah.
So there's the nerdy kid who twisted his knee, right? And so he's out there with like he's like, I brought my flint and steel. And I'm like, dude, I got a lighter in my backpack. Like, so he's out there like, and I'm like, so me and Darren walked up and I was sitting there with Darren and I knew this was going to happen. I'm like, Darren, let's just let them do the whole fire thing because they're all going to be like dick measuring and be like, oh, let me do the fire. Let me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we'll just stay back. And so all they did was like grab some sticks and go like in a pile and they just started trying to light it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, you should really like take some charge here. But I'm like, no, it's not you. They invited you. Like, just,
Hey, maybe they know something that I don't.
yeah, maybe
you
they
know?
know something you do. So me and Darren are like looking at each other like, is he really like, is that what he's trying to start? And me and my dad went hiking a couple of times and we had a flint and steel. And like our goal was to like start a fire and cook some stuff with flint and steel.
Yeah.
So I've at least done it before. And I'm looking at this kid like, okay, you don't know what you're doing. So then that kid also brought a propane cooker with him.
Yeah.
So he goes and gets the propane tank and he's like undoing it and like pouring the propane out onto his sticks and then trying to light that. Oh, and the sticks and the leaves that he's using leaves
Yeah.
and sticks, and they were all wet. And I'm like, me and Darren are like this. So finally, like,
I
I'm
can
not
picture this in my head.
Yeah.
I'm just getting mad.
30 minutes go by, and they still don't have a fire started. Like, not even a flame.
Yeah.
Nothing. Darren looks at me. He's like, "Come on." I'm like, "All right." Darren walks over there and goes, "Okay, we'll start it," and just takes his foot and just pushes all the crap out of the way. And I'm like, "We're doing the fire right there." There's like, it was perfect. There's a boulder about the size, like height of this table right here,
Yeah.
like 3 feet off the ground, and it was probably the same length as this, and it was arched, right? And that boulder had been split right in half, and the other half was just missing.
Yeah.
So it was just flat, a perfectly flat boulder. Right, and there's like 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 trees behind it where we all could set up our hammocks.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like, put the fire, we can make it pretty big and have that rock for a backstop. The heat will at least reflect a little bit off that rock and come towards us.
Yeah.
So me and Darren, I'm like, hey, let's just set up like a little A-frame thing, like kind of against that rock. We'll get some kindling, we'll get a fire started. I'm like, you start building the big stuff against that and like building like a little like TP thing or whatever
Yeah.
against that thing. I'll get the fire going. I'll bring it over to that.
Yeah.
He's like, sweet. So me and him, we just freaking do our thing. I'm working on getting I have a freaking lighter. I get the lighter out. I go find some tinder. I found some birch. And I'm like, there. Get some birch together, get some sticks, boom, light it. Darren has it all set up, boom. And I'm like, okay, we need wood. A lot of wood. If we're going to make it through the night, if anyone has ever freaking camped out before,
Yeah, you never have enough.
you never have enough wood. So I'm
No.
like, I'm looking at these kids. I'm like, go and get as much wood as you can possibly get. And they're like, how much? And I found like a fork in like a tree or something. And I'm like, it needs to be about this high, like 8 feet off the ground. I mean, it needs to be like this much, like stacked. And they're like, that much? I'm like, yeah, that much. Do you want to be cold tonight? Like, we're in the mountains right now.
Yeah.
And we're sleeping in hammocks, which means the air going under our ass is going to keep us cold. So, yeah, we're going to need a lot of wood. I'm not kidding you. One kid was dragging a stick like this big around, like an inch in diameter,
Yeah.
like 8 feet long. And he's like, comes out of the woods just like dragging that. And I'm looking at him like,
He's proud too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
he
like-
was.
he's
got
like a
big
dog.
smile on- Yeah,
they're
good.
like picking up dead wood like off the ground, like little sticks like this big.
Yeah.
And they
Oh
have
my
like, you know, like their handful. And they're like sticking it in this. It was like a good spot for like, you know, stack firewood.
Yeah.
And it's like they're like throwing these little like twigs down. I'm like, no. Like we need logs, like big.
Trees, man.
like
Think
like,
bigger.
start dropping. And nobody brought a hatchet. I had like a big knife.
See, I should have been there in my bug out
I
bag,
know
dude.
you got your freaking hatchet on
Yeah,
that thing.
dude.
So me and Darren found it was these weird trees. I don't know what they were, but they were almost like it's kind of like a bush, but it'd be like 1, 2, 3, or 4 trees like growing together,
Yeah.
and they were kind of brittle, right? So what me and Darren figured out is that we could just break the entire tree. Like you'd grab, it was probably, I don't know, like 8 to 10 feet tall,
Yeah.
probably about that big around, and you could just kind of hang off of it and it'd bend and then it'd break.
Yeah, that's what we used to do.
Yeah, so we were just breaking these and there's a shit ton of them. So we're breaking them, and then Darren would me and him would set them, and we'd hold one and like kick it with our leg, and we'd snap all these chunks. And we were coming back like full arm loads, right?
Yeah.
And me and him are running because we know how to work. So we're running these like full arm loads back. And reminds me of Graham's
Yeah,
house.
going
Like
downstairs.
go
fill the wood stove.
yeah, fill the wood box up, and like as many logs. It was
Yeah.
like that.
It was a competition too.
Yeah. And so me and Darren are just piling up this stuff, right? And so then me and Darren are like, we're working our way like further and further away from the campsite.
Yeah.
So Darren's like, hey, let's just make a bunch of little piles. And then on our way back, we'll just grab the furthest pile and we'll bring it back in. So we start just making these like bundles, probably like that big around, you know, like that wide of like stuff like this big, maybe like a little bit smaller, 4 inches, somewhere inside there, 3 inches. And we're making these piles, and I like look behind me, and the pile we just made was gone. I'm like, what the heck? I turn around, so it was 8 of us, right?
Yeah.
Me and Darren were breaking so many logs and stacking up so many piles. It was just me and him breaking everything, and the other guys were only just bringing it back to the campsite. So we had
good. That's what I'd have been doing.
yeah, so we had all 6 of those guys just bringing our piles back.
Yeah.
And we ended up having like an ass ton of wood. And so the rest of the night they called us beavers. So that's a whole nother thing too. Like you have people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Or they're not that they don't know what they're doing, because I don't think
They've
anyone
just never done it.
they've
before.
never done anything.
Yeah.
You know, they've never like been in any sort of situation like that. So that's another thing you kind of compare to like a zombie apocalypse. Like just nobody like you hand somebody a gun and they're like they don't even know what to do with it, you know.
Yeah.
Or
Well, that kind of reminds me. I remember being in SOI, School of Infantry.
Yeah.
And that's like right after boot camp. And we all got tents. You got issued tents. You know, 2 people to a tent or whatever. And you sleep right on the range. You wake up, or I think at one point we had tents. I don't know. Sometimes you have tents. Sometimes you just have like your bivvy set up. But this time we had tents. You sleep on the range, and it's nice. You're out in the middle of nowhere in a big field. You know, you're looking up at the stars. It's camping. You're just out there camping, essentially, eating MREs instead of cooking on a fire, you know. And I was like, oh, my tent mate or whatever you would call it, he was like this Hispanic dude. And I was like, you know, it's actually kind of nice. It reminds me of camping. He's like, yeah, man, I want to do that someday. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I've never been camping before. I'm like, dude, you never been camping before and you joined the Marine Corps? Like, I guess that's the first way to, like, that's one way to go camping
was
for
he
the
like
first
from
time.
a city or anything?
Yeah, he must have been just like a city kid, but
Oh.
I was just like, oh my goodness, you never slept in a tent before? This must be crazy for you, going through boot camp and everything.
It'd either be like the best thing ever or the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So, okay, now so we talked about some scenarios. We talked about the 5 things. What are the next 5 big ticket items you would grab? And then also you can jump stores. And then how also do you carry that stuff, and or how do you have it set up?
Yeah. Well, this is hard because so I got my boat, right?
Yeah.
But I need a way to
forgot about his boat.
I need a way to go get supplies and bring it to my boat, which obviously I can, you know, pull my boat into dock, hop out, throw supplies in or whatever. So I'm going to need a vehicle to go out and get more supplies. So I'm going to need something pretty rugged to like actually go out there. So I'm going, I don't know, we going like realistic, like what's right around?
Yeah. We're gonna keep our area.
Yeah. So we're like on Woodruff Road right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just go to the dealership, get a big diesel truck.
The
Maybe.
dealership.
Yeah.
They don't have a tow hitch on them.
At the dealership? Yeah,
Yeah.
tow hitches.
They got him at Cabela's.
Do you know how many tow hitches are sitting in the parking lot of Cabela's? They're in a,
Yeah.
Would there be though?
Yeah, there
Oh,
would
yeah.
be, dude.
there'd be trucks abandoned everywhere. I'd just steal one.
All right. Well,
I don't even think I'd go to a
Maybe I'd
dealership.
just steal a boat and get something else from Cabela's.
oh, how about this?
Yeah.
Right, how about this? There's like I'm gonna interrupt you, Ty. So, what do you do if there's other people that are doing the same thing you're doing?
Depends. It depends like what they're doing exactly and how like their body language is.
Oh, I
Yeah, you
can't-
mean like do you keep to yourself or do you
Yeah.
join up with them
Yeah,
or
do you
even
talk- do you-
try
I
to
don't
talk to
trust
them?
a soul though, dude. If anybody came near me, my gun would be pointed right at them and be yelling.
So, would you just try to like avoid people?
Who are we with, buddies?
Yeah.
Or are you solo?
We're with some buddies.
Yeah, if I already have my group and I have like the group of people that I think I'll be like good with and trust and know that these guys are capable, I don't think I want any. I don't want much more than that.
If I had a group with me, I'd be going up to them and just pushing them out. I would be. I'd be like, "Get out of here!
So,
This is our store."
I think that I would just keep my distance. Like, but the thing is, like, what happens? Like, okay, let's just use Cabela's, right? You're going into Cabela's. What if they're like walking in right next to you?
Yeah, no, that'd be scary.
I'd just run to the gun section first. I'd
yeah.
make sure I made it there first.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is like, if you're going to Cabela's, in all reality, right? In all reality, if you're going to Cabela's because of a zombie apocalypse, like every other person and their freaking mom is thinking about going to Cabela's to grab
Dude,
supplies.
that'd be the first place everybody went.
Exactly. So
It'd be pretty packed there, I bet. It'd be like a Saturday afternoon, all the dads
Oh,
there,
dude, there'd be people shooting each other.
Yeah,
and
dude,
Yeah.
it'd be a
It
shit show.
honestly, it probably wouldn't be the place to go.
I like thinking about it and thinking about all the other people when you said like, oh, what would you do if there's other people there? I don't even know if I'd go there, dude.
yeah,
There's
There'd
like
be hundreds of people there.
everyone who lives in Greenville would be trying to loot like Cabela's and Palmetto State
Yeah.
Armory.
Can you go to your house and get what you have there?
yeah, you can
Ah,
definitely.
Dude, I'd be driving to my house.
So the real thing is like, I guess you get a like you and your buddies are there and you get a text and it's like, hey, it's popping off, and you're kind of like
You're just grabbing stuff.
you're
on your
grabbing
way
shit,
out.
and they're like, hey, you gotta pay for that, and you're like, yeah, screw you, I'm out of here, see ya. But the other thing, so this is my other question I had for this too. Okay, so the zombie apocalypse, so there's total chaos and all that type of stuff, right? What's a place you go to, or maybe this isn't on your mind, but I always have this question, and I can show you the video. The reason why is there anything you do or grab just because you can, like maybe you like you go out of your way to like smash some freaking window just because you've always wanted to smash that window with a rock or something, like something like that, or like I've always wanted to see what was in like the back room at this store or place or gas station or whatever, and you're like, well, it don't matter now, I'm just gonna go and do it. Or is there an item that you've always kind of wanted but it doesn't really make sense to grab, that you're like, ooh,
Yeah, just
I
because
just
it's
want one of those?
like the end of the world type of thing.
Yeah.
So, oh, I'm just gonna go check this out or go steal
Yeah.
this.
Is there anything like that? I'm gonna pull up the reason why. Don't look at the screen.
All
But
right.
I just want to hear what you have to say.
I mean, and there's just one thing or one. I don't even know.
I know what I'd be doing. You know, I Am Legend. He's booning, drifting through the streets in his GT500.
Yeah.
I think I'd be going grab one. I'd go
Yeah,
grab a
just
fast
some
Mustang,
crazy car.
something cool, something I've always wanted.
A
I'd be
cool
drifting
car
through
would
the
be
streets.
would probably be pretty high on the
You
list.
know what actually be cool around here is get a sick car and go to like the BMW test track.
Oh, that
yeah,
would
that'd
be
Go
pretty
wild.
That'd be fun.
sick. Okay, you guys ready for this? I don't know if you guys have ever seen this video. I want to go like this. Go like that, and I'll go full screen.
Key and Peele.
Pretty much, I think if I don't pause it, I'll get copyright strike. But it's pretty much like an apocalypse thing, and like, you know what Key and Peele is.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
real quick before he finishes. Is there anybody that you could put in that category right there?
Oh, that's Jarrett.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is so Jarrett.
That would
That's
be Jarrett.
That's the first person. So that's kind of. I was thinking about that, and like in my mind, I'm like, what would be something that I would like go and do that would be not like a necessity type thing. So I thought of a couple things, like longboarding in downtown Greenville, or like a big open road, or like Wade Hampton or something like that. But then just like drifting everywhere. Like, you ever see a corner or like a light section or something?
Dude,
Man,
every day.
It'd be so sick to just freaking like drift that right there.
Yeah.
Definitely stuff like that, like for sure. And I would like everyone loves smashing windows and shit like that, so I like to do some of that. But that video was in my head too, and I was like, oh man, I gotta show them this. I hope they haven't seen it because it's so damn funny. The Cheetos and the freaking freaking cracks me up every time. Oh man, Jared, if you're listening, we're sorry.
No, dude,
No, we're not.
Jarrett would be in the lake and on his jet ski in a Speedo or something.
He would too.
It'd be totally Jarrett.
Oh man, I bet, dude. Okay, how many people, like kids, like would go out and like drink their first beer and get totally hammered, then become zombies like right after, just because they can? I guarantee you that'd be a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
oh hey, I can't do this, but now I can because it don't matter.
There's really no laws, nothing.
Okay. Do you think in our area, like a lot of people make it out, or no?
Anybody within 30 miles of downtown Greenville, I think they're all gone.
How far? we're not
Most of
that-
them in the
we're-
city.
We're pretty close to downtown Greenville.
How far away? Yeah.
Not 30 miles, I don't think.
Well, I'll say 10 miles.
10
Anyone in the city's gone, I think.
Yeah, because I think you either gone or you're stranded.
Yeah.
Like then
Stuck in buildings
yeah,
and
you're just gonna be stuck.
Yes.
Okay, does it pop off at nighttime or does it pop off during the day?
Is it? What are they attracted to? Sound?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, let's
Probably
hash
day.
this out. How do if you just the most creative way? How does that start?
COVID.
Oh, that's good.
No, dude, the vaccine.
The vaccine.
Yeah, the
that's
vaccine,
good.
actually.
Everyone who took the vaccine's just zombies.
YouTube, you didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That needle that you stick in your arm, that thing.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
thing. That's what starts the zombie apocalypse. Boom. So
Yikes.
if you got that, you're susceptible to it. If you get bitten, then you're susceptible to it.
Yeah.
Okay, how about if you got
Well, you've seen the memes, and it's like me, like the last unvaccinated person or whatever. It's like the year 2035, and they're trying to escape or something.
No, I've never seen that, but
You
dang
haven't
that.
seen those memes?
Dude, I don't have social media anymore.
Yeah,
You gotta like screenshot it and send it to me.
dude, there's too many memes out there.
Dude, Connor deleted Snapchat. He'll like text me pictures like as if it's Snapchat. Dude, let me find one real quick. Like a selfie, dude. It'll be like just a picture of him. It's like, this is what I'm doing today. Like he sends me videos of his work. I just found it. It's just like a Snapchat video, but he just
Yeah.
took it on his camera of him. They're pouring like a bunch
Oh
of
man,
big pour or something.
freaking old Connor.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you real talk? Do you think would you be having a little bit of fun?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
would you be
think I
kinda
would,
like-
honestly.
I feel like when it first pops off, you would be terrified and you would be freaking out. But like, once you got into the groove of it a little bit,
Once
like
it's
you
like
see,
normal, almost.
yeah, like in like Zombieland, and they're just like who is it, Tallahassee?
Yeah.
He's just cruising around in
Yeah.
his Cadillac, like
Okay.
he's not even scared anymore. You know, he's just having fun.
Going to the White House would be low key pretty cool.
I don't think you'd get in there, dude.
Maybe, yeah, probably not. But if it was like,
If they took,
Like if they got
yeah,
breached.
yeah, dude, I'd want to go there.
where else would
But
you
that's
go?
just, I don't know, big buildings.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd have the balls to go there, but
It
it'd
would
be
be
cool.
You know what I think about a lot in like these types of scenarios, or even like urban survival scenarios, is when you had mentioned like urban exploring,
Yeah.
like abandoned buildings, and how that guy, like a YouTuber that you watch or something, carries around the little door jams to keep doors open because like he got trapped inside a place, and I was
Mhm.
like, and imagine zombie apocalypse and like you try to hide, you shut the door, and you realize it's locked behind you, and it's like this big heavy duty door.
it'd
It's
be
like,
s-
all right, well, this is the end.
Well, you just stole my next question too.
Really?
It's like I was gonna say, what's like 2 or 3 things that you would grab that you would never think would be like a necessity or useful, and I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
So-
I just bought a brand new grinder. I'd be grabbing that thing, sticking it in my backpack.
So the story is, so I was watching this Urban Explorer guy that I always watch, and he's like kind of going through the stuff he takes with him, like a camera and a lens and a tripod, and he's like, here's something I always take with me. And remember in school they had those little rubber door stops?
Yeah.
He carries like 3 or 4 of them in his backpack. So he's like, because some doors automatically lock. So because if I come through a big like heavy door, I put a door stop in it to keep it open. I'm like, I would have never have thought of that. Like that is so genius.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like one of the things I would have never thought to grab, or one of the things I would like to make sure I grab, dude, pen and paper.
Yeah.
You can leave notes in places.
No, I was
That
thinking
right
about that
in the
too.
rain book
Yep.
that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Or even well, I would say maybe even like a can of spray paint, but that would kind of run out pretty quick.
No, but I see that's a good idea though. Or one of those like everywhere markers.
Yeah.
That'd be even better. Like an everywhere, so you can mark stuff, or hey, this isn't safe, or whatever. As you can see, you could like write on windows or doors or whatever. That's pretty good. Kind of leave your trail.
But even for pen and paper to like notes on like what's happening, like how like can they hear really good or can they smell really good or like
Oh yeah.
Especially
maybe
you gotta
like
think you're like panicking. It'd be so easy to forget important things.
Yeah, yeah. You could make like your own like zombie apocalypse survival guide, like
Yeah.
yeah.
with you, And then like anything someone tells you, you could write it down. So yeah, I knew I was going somewhere good with that.
Yeah.
Spray paint would be good too, because if you're in like a pretty big building and you've never been in there, just to mark so you don't get lost.
Oh
It's like when you're playing
yeah.
Minecraft and you leave your torches
Yeah.
everywhere, dude.
Yeah, you
what I
just
think
mark
about.
you mark the doors
Yeah.
that
As
you've
you
already
go
been
through.
in or
Or
whatever.
just spray a dot.
Yeah, just some little marks that you know, like where you're going. What are I think? So there's no power, obviously. So there's no power, no running water. So if I was like, because for me, I'm thinking like build like a base thing that you can kind of be safe at, and you can kind of have like your families and stuff kind of there, which you'd obviously need land, or you need to take land or something like that. And anything you have needs to be protected. So if you have a good group, you need a good group to be able to protect what you have, because anybody's just going to steal stuff, even if it's not like malicious. Because like I don't know if the dude who owned this house is dead or alive. So like
Yeah.
you're just taking it. So if somebody sees something, they're going to try and take it. So another thing I thought of was padlocks, like just the combination code locks.
Yeah.
So you can like lock.
Or with that, a lock picking kit.
Yeah. So
yeah, that'd be good.
legit. I was talking to Ty about this the other day. One of the things I want to get for my bag is a lock picking kit.
Yeah.
And,
I'd
like,
love to
learn
get
how to
one
do
and
it.
just like play around with it.
Didn't you say you?
Yeah, well, I just had a experience with picking locks, but I just went to DeWalt and bought a grinder and cut them off. At a storage unit. That's a story for a different time.
Yeah, that's a story for another time. That's a good one though.
I would grab that grinder and like 4 DeWalt kits, and then I have a little like block. It plugs into like a truck charger, you know, the USBs you have, and plugs in there, and then there's outlets, and then I have a DeWalt charger. So that's what I'd get.
Ooh, I got another
Grab
thing.
one of those.
So the grinder would be a great thing to have with you. A freaking jumper cables. Because if your car shits the bed and you have like an extra battery or something with it, you can just try and jump another car
Yeah.
to keep going.
I'd only drive stick shift cars. Dude, I really would. No, if you break in them, you just jump start them, get it rolling, and dump the clutch in first gear.
Do you know? Oh yeah.
Older
yeah,
cars,
yeah.
dude. I'd only drive stick, but it'd be so hard to find them though.
Do you know what Mackenzie said to me the other day? She goes, I was like texting her, and she goes, "Do you know what I really want?" And I'm like, you know, when you hear a girl go, "Do you know what I really want?" And you're kind of just like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
She goes,
Bracing yourself.
yeah. She goes, "I just really want a '70s Bronco and some chickens." And I'm like,
And some
Yes.
chicken.
I'm like, I succeeded. I'm like, well, we're gonna need some land first, you know. But I was like, man, that's freaking. I'll take that. I can do that.
Oh yeah.
I can do that. So let me go back, see if any more of the chats have came in.
Oh, I know what
Emma
else I'd
Nice is
grab.
in the chat. What'd she say? Sleeping 4,000 feet on the top of a mountain and can't sleep. Happy you guys are here. Hey, we're happy that you're watching right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. We got 3 likes and we have 1 concurrent viewer right now. Thanks for checking in. I'll have to message Emma because she might not still be listening.
Yeah.
Fourth,
for sure.
where is she at? I know she went
We're
back.
camping in Mount
Washington.
Washington, maybe. Or no, the White Mountains. That's where they are.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
well,
just
Mount-
drove up there and then they're backpacking in, I think.
so they're experiencing what we're just talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Well, Mount Washington is no joke for a place
Yeah.
to camp at.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's the White Mountains. They said.
Yeah.
So
Where's
there's
the
the
White
White Mountains, which there's the White Mountains, and then Mount Washington is the highest mountain in.
You ever
White
seen the videos on YouTube of Mount Washington? Dude, people jump up in there and they're just getting blown
Yeah.
by the wind.
Doesn't it have like the strongest wind speed like
It's,
ever recorded or something?
It's home of the world's worst weather.
Yeah, dude,
Really?
it's
yeah, and
rough.
there's
up
like
there.
a weather observatory up there,
Mm-hmm.
and I've watched the news, and this was like when like the wind chill was like -30 in like Greenville, New Ipswich
No,
area,
Yeah.
they're
and it was like,
we're next to Mount Washington.
oh wow,
Oh,
So
Yeah,
she's
and
here
the-
still.
the-
all right. Props to Emma.
All right. Well, real quick. Sorry to cut you off. Real quick, Emma. I just want to say
yeah,
this to
she's-
you. What did you bring with you? Like, what supplies that you brought are you figuring out? Like, hey, I'm glad that we brought this. And what stuff are you sitting there going, hey, I wish I would have brought this? Put those-
another thing, what stuff have you brought where you're like, wow, this is takes up way too much space and we haven't used it yet?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is useless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that's like useless.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a lot of stuff you wouldn't expect that'd be just useless.
Yeah, let us know. And that's one thing that like just for me carrying my bag, like one day I got out of work and I'm like I got out it was yesterday. I got out of work and I was heading to school and I had to take some baby wipes with me to take a shower
Yeah.
before I went to school because I went straight from work to school and I had my bag and I'm like I got done with work and I had my lunchbox with me. I had no water left. I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
should have freaking shoved a bottle of water in my freaking backpack too. So I at least have that. Or I
Yeah.
could fill it like at school or something.
Yeah, yours is more like grab it every day, right?
Yeah, that I take it with me
Yeah,
every single
mine's
day.
not. Mine's like, dude, I got a hatchet mounted on the side, the Walker earmuffs, med pack, bag full of tools, a screwdriver with a bunch of bit. Like mine's like, will I ever use it? Probably not.
Well, yours
but
is-
it's
yours
pretty fun.
Yours is something too that you could just throw in your trunk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
kinda
That's
like
what I
Little
do.
Emergency bag.
And I like left a bunch of, dude, ratchet straps, like paracord, anything you could think of is most likely in there. Waterproof matches, water purifier.
So if we go
Pretty
somewhere,
thought
you're
out.
driving.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the other thing I was gonna say? So I pretty much take mine with me every day, just in case apocalypse pops off. You know, gotta have the goods. Another thing too, I was actually talking to Ryan about it, is like first aid stuff, and we've been like getting into first aid and all that type of stuff. We me and Ryan been looking up classes to take. So if you guys want to take a class,
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
mean, I
be
know
really good.
You did stuff in the military, but we want to do like a emergency first aid class or whatever. And then Mackenzie's dad said he'd want to do it with us too, because for his EMT class, he has to have so many hours per year
yeah.
of training. And he goes, I can take a class and I can go towards my training or whatever. So if you guys want to do that, we can set it up and I'll go do it. It'd be really fun.
Yeah. No,
Because-
because even like when I was in, I went to, I don't know how, I always just kept on getting sent to every type of, what is it? It's one is combat lifesaver, one is TCCC, one is named another thing, but I was just always, I went to like 5 different courses and I'm like, I'm already good on all this stuff, like whatever, but it is good to like, you know, keep up with that, just like with shooting and everything like that. Like,
Well, too, if you can have every medical supply in the world, if you don't know how to use it, you're done.
yeah. No, what do they call it? It's a perishable skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's not like riding a bike. You will lose it.
Read what she said. She told us.
We did a super hard hike. We pretty much did all the elevation, 0.3 miles. So we got to the top, and I just wanted to be comfortable. And backpacking is all about light. Was on things you need.
Yeah, so like what are some of the specific things that you brought that you're either glad you brought or you're unhappy you brought? How about that?
Funny story real quick about my bag. So I got my company truck while I'm going to work. I'm like, I'll just grab my bag just 'cause. So I throw it in the passenger seat. When I go to the subdivision and I'm like building up this yard and grading and stuff, and then I go sit in my truck. I'm about to head out, and the super walks up. He's like, "What the hell do you have this for?" I'm like, he's like, "What the hell are you ever gonna need a hatchet for? Grading?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, you never know."
Just don't piss me off, man.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you gonna kill someone?" I'm like, "I don't know, Marty. Just don't tell me to do any more shit today, and you'll be good." It was funny. We were joking around about it.
Yeah, it's just that whole like preparedness thing and being prepared for, you know, a situation. You're always it's there if you need it type thing. It's always just better to have it, not need it, than to need it and not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I have my little bag, like having done like, you know, basic medical courses, that like I realized like how bad job sites can be and like
Yeah.
injuries and stuff like that, especially dealing with like rebar and like you can get some pretty gnarly injuries. Yeah. And you're even skill saws and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just have my little bag, and it mostly has medical. So it's like, it started off as just like a little. It's a Camelback bag. So
Mhm.
it's like a Camelback carrier with a small backpack, and it's got my medical, just like whatever medical supplies I had left over from my IFAC and stuff like that. And
What does
then,
IFAC stand for?
oh, put me on the spot on that one. Is it individual first aid kit?
Hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
Does
think
that
so.
work?
I think that's right.
Yeah. So it's got like medical stuff, and then I turned it into like my hiking bag because it's got the Camelback carrier and everything. So I have my Camelback for water, some medical stuff, and then I have like a couple of lighters in a Ziploc bag. I have some toilet paper in a Ziploc bag. Um, just kind of little stuff like that you would want hiking.
Yeah. Yeah, just good little stuff to keep on you.
Yeah, and then I just keep it in my truck.
So the other thing, I really want to learn how to use tourniquets properly. Like,
Yeah,
I understand what they're used for. I get it. But I was even just talking to Mackenzie's dad, and he said, I just took a class, and he goes, we were actually told not to put the tourniquets as high as you can, because he said if you put a tourniquet on, he goes, let's say there's a wound at your calf, right?
yeah,
He goes, if you put a tourniquet on way up high, like up on your hip, and you tighten it down a lot and they start bleeding, he said you can't put another tourniquet on below it. So he goes, we were taught to put it on like 5 inches above the injury if you
Yeah.
can. And then if we need to add another one, you can put another one above it, because you
Yeah.
obviously can't take the first one off.
yeah.
And so he goes, you could put another one above it and crank that one down.
Yeah, so that's something that changed. When I was in boot camp, it was always, I want to say, like 2 to 4 inches above the wound.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I kind of went on, they started just saying put it as high and tight as possible.
Yeah.
But I think obviously if you had an injury on like the lower part of your leg, like your hamstring or something, like I don't know, if all this part of the leg was fine, like your thigh,
Mm-hmm.
then like I don't see any reason that you'd need to have it all the way up.
Yeah.
on
As
your
long
hip.
as it's like above the injury.
Yeah.
And then he said,
I think they just do that maybe because of like shrapnel wounds where you don't, all you see on the leg is blood.
yeah.
So you don't really know what part of the leg it's or
Yeah.
something like that. Or maybe just, I don't know, just to get it as high as possible, just so that it's guaranteed to be working.
All right, let's see. What else did Emma say? Oh, we got a bunch of more people in here now. Okay, but I would totally buy a backpack chair. So I'm working on a backpack chair. That's good.
Dude, field chairs. We would bring those out to the field all the time.
And I never thought to be comfortable, so bring more comfy things.
So she's saying that she packed too light.
Yeah.
She would rather have more.
More
with her.
My
stuff.
problem is, dude, like you said, every pocket is filled. That thing was like 50 pounds, and I had to go read through it and take a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah, like I'm on my like everyday like bag. I have like 2 boxes of hollow points and then a baggie that's filled with like 30 rounds. I'm like, I don't need that many. Like, and I also have like an extra mag.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need all that extra stuff. Hey, if you guys have, if any of you guys are just checking in to the live stream, obviously, hopefully the sound is good. And then we're pretty much talking about zombie apocalypse and what you grab and all sorts of stuff like that. So if you have any questions that you'd like to put them in the chat and we'll answer them too. But it's fun too. And I actually talked to your dad today too for a little bit. And low key, like, don't take this in the wrong way or gay way, but I'm kind of like proud of you for like picking something and like getting obsessive over it. And I think with all like the, past little while, all the stuff that's happened and all that, I think it's good for you.
You want to know like a big reason why I got into it?
Hmm.
So Maddie's thing is like Target. Dude, I'm fairly certain every
Yeah.
person's girl here is obsessed with Target.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was talking with her and I'm like, I want to find something that I can buy for myself because I never buy anything for myself. I'm like super tight with my money, and if I do buy something, it's usually for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I want to like buy myself a gift, and I'm like trying to think of like stuff, dude. I'm like on Marketplace looking at $60,000 Mustangs. I'm like, all right, gotta find something more reasonable. Then I thought of the backpack. I'm like, all right, that's not that expensive. So now, dude, Cabela's is my target. Like, dude, I could literally
I feel like
go
that's
there
just how it
every
goes,
day.
though.
I could go there every day, dude.
And just keep stocking up.
Yeah, dude, I could spend thousands.
See, I wish I had Gatorade powder for water. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually bought some.
Is that because she was getting it from like a stream or something, or just to have the electrolytes?
Oh, maybe. Well, what if
Because
we also made a fire for the bugs. What did it say?
what a joke! Just bring a fire starter thing. Waste of time trying to do it the survival way.
Oh man! All right, let's see. What did Girth Master say? I can barely see. I need to pull my screen up, so Michael's gonna have to read it.
It's a bit quiet but clean audio.
Okay, a bit quiet. turn
Orbit
that on.
says the camera is insanely clear. And then
Oh, that's good.
Girthmaster says love the stream.
Oh hell yeah! So that's
Awesome.
awesome. That's good. Good. I can also turn our mics up just a smidge more over here also. But so what I really want to do. So I'll actually give you my idea because I don't think I've told you guys this. I might have told you this, or did I talk about it the other night? I don't think so. So eventually, with this whole because I want to get a shooting range or a place we can all go shoot, just kind of like us, like family and friends type thing,
Yeah.
but make it legit. But then, if we want, we could bring our kids out there and go camping and just it can be kind of out there in a place that we know is relatively safe. You know, that one of us or me or whoever owns the land, and we could also do shooting and then also training. But then it'd be really cool to because I know all these guys, they have either the shooting training or their survival training or anything like that. You can hire them, and it costs $5,000 or something to have them come out for a day or two. But that'd be freaking sick to just be like, hey, we want to privately hire you to come out here and train us on whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously, what I would say is before we would ever hire somebody to come out and train us something, at least at the bare minimum on if it's going to be firearms training, at least all of us be extremely proficient at all the basics.
Well,
Yeah.
just practice. That way, one of the worst things, it's me and Dallas played hockey. You go and you're practicing the stupidest shit. It's
Yeah.
this is such a waste of time. So just yeah, I'd say that.
Well, I feel like that's how it goes anytime you you just go shooting with your buddies. You just end up just blasting rounds into you're not you're not
there's-
actually practicing and trying
That's
to
what me
get
and
better.
Dallas have been doing. We've been doing 3 rounds of mag, just wicked slow. It took us 2 hours to shoot. I don't know.
It's 50 rounds.
Yeah.
It literally took us 2 hours to shoot 50 rounds.
And it is way cheaper.
Yeah. it's
Oh yeah,
cheaper.
because I remember going shooting in New Hampshire, and you spend more time filling mags than shooting. 'Cause
Yeah.
You just sit there, fill the mags, and pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
All right, fill it up again. Pop,
Yeah.
pop, pop, pop. Hey, you want to try this? Pop, 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 and you
Yeah.
just unload as fast as you can, and it's
And
You get nothing out of it other than
I mean, you get some fun,
fun,
yeah, but
I want to learn something. That's what I
Yeah.
want to do. And what me and Ty were doing, it would be we had 6 targets or something set up. I'll tell you what we did the second time, because the second time was pretty fun too. And be fun with more people.
Oh, the competition.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
So I was just trying to teach him, and I know Ty has shot before, so he knows how to handle a gun, and he knows how to aim and all that type of stuff. But just some fundamentals, hey, try holding it this way, try putting your thumbs like this or whatever. But I'd give him 2 or 3 rounds, and we were going at 2 different distances, and I wanted to show him I know that it might seem easy to hit a target, but when you're shooting a pistol, and I was showing him I want you to do your very best to hit the bullseye from 7 feet away.
yeah,
And he was maybe 2 inches off or 3 inches off or something. I'm okay, you took you brought the pistol from a low ready, and you brought it up, you aimed, you squeezed your first shot, you took your time, you shot your second one, and then your third one. I'm if you were in an actual situation, I'm this is you taking the perfect amount of time, and your spread is 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah.
Right? Now put you in a heightened situation where you're shaking, your blood rushing, all that type of stuff, and those 3 or 4 inches turn into 10, 12 inches. And
Dude,
that's
that's why cops are trained to just mag dump.
yeah, and 10 or 12 inches, you're missing in a self-defense thing, you're missing somebody entirely.
Yeah.
And that's from 7 feet away. 7 feet. And then we also did like it was like on a hill, so it didn't really work, but I was like, all right, Ty, like, just act like you have a gun. And I'm like, I'm going to just run at you, right? I'm just going to, like, I have a knife. I'm just going to run at you. And before you can even get the gun, like, from here to here, I'll be right in front of you.
Yeah.
And I was like down a hill and it's kind of like slippery, but I was just like, okay, go. And I ran and he's like, "Yeah." And I was like right there. And so just to kind of show like how different knife distances and stuff like that. Okay, let's see.
Oh,
All
boy.
right, Michael, we got a whole lot more in here, so you got to start reading.
All right, Emma said, it's crazy how much stuff they have to make life easier in the woods, and I personally have the mindset of you can't use the cool stuff.
Oh yeah, that is totally true. Like the gimmicky type stuff.
The
Oh.
gimmicky or like the cool stuff? Like
the gadgets and like the propane tank.
Like,
and-
you need stuff
Oh.
that like works. Like have you guys ever seen the hand or the pocket chainsaw?
yeah,
It's like the little finger thing.
yeah,
I've watched a couple YouTube videos and the guys are like, snap. And it like breaks. Like, this thing is worthless.
Dude,
Yeah.
There's literally hand saws that are way better than
Yeah.
that thing.
You can just like,
Yeah,
or a
the-
It's
hatchet.
like
the
when
little-
you go hunting and you're cutting lanes for your shouting.
Yeah.
I
one
used
of
to
those
have one that
saws.
I bring hunting, and it's a little folding hand saw.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
what I'm
thing
talking
is
about.
awesome.
Some things are sweet.
Yeah, can't say that one from Jessica. And then Emma said, I was just talking to Rich about this stuff, and he said he knew this person that had a small-ish brook with a small turbine for hydropower, and he uses it for his house place. That's what I want.
Oh, just like a little kind of like hydropower.
I watched a video,
Oh.
dude. Somebody formed up a little thing into like a brook, like she said, like a dam, and then he like all with concrete and masonry, and he literally built like a whole turbine. It was,
That's
it
pretty
was
dope.
sweet.
Oh, what'd you do if I just said that out loud?
That'd been awesome, dude.
Oh boy, I didn't even have a clue who that is.
I know. I was
Probably
wondering.
Jarrett.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
It's like, remember when you were streaming, dude? I went, Dallas was like just starting streaming his streaming games. I think I went and made like 7 different. I'd go on Google, create an email,
Yeah.
go on, log in, create a Twitch account. I had like 4 different accounts on there on each device, just spread out. Come up with the funniest names ever. It's like, who the heck is this? Half of them, I'm like pretending to be somebody. So he's like, oh shit, dude, I have viewers. The other half are just like completely random names, like inside jokes, I guess that he'd
Yeah.
get.
I got up to 700 followers on that.
Oh, wow.
I think my largest stream was like 85 people watching. Like, I had like 2 or 3 in a row that were all like in between like 50 and like 80.
Yeah.
Never hit 100, but
That was sweet though. It was
Oh
fun
my
watching
God.
them.
I would like to do that again, but I'd have to have so much more time.
Yeah.
Oh, as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as the land, I just thought of this. So basically, when we were kids, we'd go build campouts. Me, Dallas, Dexter, Emma was there. We'd go like during the day, go build our camp, or take a few days and build it, and then we'd go camp there. That'd be fun doing that on
Yeah.
the land.
That'd be fun.
Oh,
to do.
building forts growing up was always the best.
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
that was the bomb. That
We'd
was
like
legit the
It
bomb.
wasn't even like a fort either. It was like we'd clear a little spot for it with hand saws and whatever. We built a bridge across the brook. I'm trying to think what else. Spots, level ground, like build a spot for a campfire, cut limbs in the way. Like, dude, we
love
were
that
out
stuff.
there with hammers, hatchets, no power tools, dude. That was fun.
If we ever have kids, we probably shouldn't bring them because we're just gonna be reliving our childhood.
I know, dude. Yeah. That was fun.
But I that's my thing. I'd like to just, as far as zombie apocalypse stuff, I'd want to be out in the woods. Like, that's just where I'd be. That's where I'd like want to be. I'd want to see
like
like
up in the mountains.
kind of ish, like in the mountains area.
The only thing is like the shade and dark. It's just not like open. You can't look around and spot
Yeah.
stuff easily.
Well, it's a thing of you can't see if they're like coming up on you from a distance, but then you kind of blend in.
But if you got a fire cranking,
Yeah,
dude,
well,
they're
that's the
gonna be
only thing.
walking
Hey,
right up
if
to
you're
you.
in the middle of the nowhere and on a dark night and you have a fire going, like that, everyone's gonna see that.
Yeah, everyone is gonna see that.
yeah,
And I don't know if zombies are attracted. I would assume they are
it'd
Like,
be light.
attracted to the light.
you need.
Imagine sitting around a campfire and you just start
No.
Dude, I couldn't.
360
No.
surrounded.
It's
You
like-
better
it's
just
like
jump in the
videos where
fire.
you just see the eyeballs.
Yeah.
like, glowing.
No.
Okay, let me give you
Or
my.
can they climb trees? What if you had a tree fort?
That's
No,
a-
no, no, stop! Stop! That's where I'm going. All right, you guys have probably never even. I'm gonna pull up a picture right now because you guys. I know you guys. You probably never watched it. Have you guys ever seen the third Star Wars?
No.
No,
I
I
was
don't
never
think
into
so.
Star Wars a
Like,
whole lot
okay.
until The Mandalorian came along.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
This is what I'm freaking viewing right or thinking about right here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm-
they're like in the movie, dude. It's so sick too.
The-
They
the-
got their little doors. And
Yeah,
stuff.
the Ewok villages up in like the trees
Yeah, those are sweet.
like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be making.
So
right
what
there.
what I thought of before the boat and like being on the water thing was being somewhere high and then having a rope ladder.
like look how badass that is right there.
Yeah, and have ladders that you can pull up
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
what I'd
just-
be doing.
safe.
Yeah, and then that keeps you safe from regular people too.
Yeah.
If
Unless-
it were popping off and I was at my house, I think I'd hop in my dad's truck, get him, go to Lowe's or somewhere like some trailer place, get a big dump trailer and just go fill it.
Yeah,
I'd get a dump trailer. You can put lumber, like literally, I'd back that thing right in the front doors of Cabela's. Again, yeah, bring it back. And I'd just be tossing shit in there. Don't even matter what, anything.
just whatever
Imagine
you
how much
grab.
stuff you could fit in there.
That
Yeah,
would be
especially the
good.
real
just-
high
Yeah,
dump
yeah.
trailers.
Then you just pull off. You got, dude, I don't know. It'd be like Christmas morning. You wouldn't even know what you grabbed.
Have a couple of trucks.
Yeah, dude. That'd be sick.
It'd be
Gar-
set up.
Girth Master said, Jessica, do you need some help? You need therapy. What did Emma say right here? I heard someone say to get, trail cameras.
Yeah,
For
that'd
what?
be good.
For zombie apocalypse?
Well, even just for people, like if they're kind of coming up to your area, you could have like the live trail cams and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I didn't even think of that.
The only thing is, well, nowadays they get sent right to your device, but imagine if you had the old ones, you have to go fetch the SD card.
Yeah.
Make sure you go with two people.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be.
No, but having the one or any type of camera system, trail cams would be really good.
Yeah.
And it just captures.
You
Little
can,
glimpses.
and they're like kind of hidden too.
Or
you know.
animals too.
Yeah.
Go look, see a big deer, dude.
Freaking thwack that thing.
I'd be having
Well, yeah,
shooting
you'd have to
lanes out
eat.
my tree fort too.
Okay.
That'd be the nice part about in
A
the
grappling hook, you just
Yeah,
toss
you're
it down,
going
hook onto the
Tarzan,
deer, pull
dude.
it up.
Oh, I'd be hooking that
You
thing
don't
to
even
a
have to get
tree.
down.
Yeah.
I so okay. What about food?
I'm
'Cause-
fishing on my boat.
You're fishing on your boat.
I
I'm
would-
hoping. I'm hoping I'm getting some fish.
I think I'd try find somewhere in the woods near a lake. Then you kind of get best of both worlds.
I would have
Maybe
a
some
zip
catfish.
line from my tree fort to my boat.
Yeah, dude. I'd have that thing anchored right in the middle of the lake. Have my tree fort, nice zip line going to it. But how do you get back though? You got to think. Your tree fort's up here. You're only zip lining down. How do you get back up there? You're gonna have to crawl all the way
maybe-
back.
Maybe I don't know. Have some climbing gear with you, and you'd have to shimmy.
Imagine
That
falling
would
in
be
the.
way too hard.
Yeah.
I'm not shimmying all the way back up to a dang tree
Shimmy
fort.
2,000 feet
Oh,
back up
let's
to your
see.
tree fort.
Or you have a jet ski.
Yeah.
You ever seen those boats with the jet ski that goes right on the
Well,
back?
yeah, you could actually just have a yacht with a helicopter
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much if something pops off, you have 24 hours to decide if you're gonna bug out or stay in. Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So that's
Depending on how far you are from where it started.
yeah, true. And that's why, like, in my mind, so this is the way I always tackle any situation, right? So anytime a question comes up and it's like, oh, like this crazy thing happens, I'm like, should have prepared for that a long time ago. So that's why for me, it's like you have a cabin already up in the woods. You have a place you can all go. You already have a plan. Like, hey, if something ever happens, just know that you, and you, we all know each other. We all like, we could all meet there.
Yeah,
you
this is
know?
the rendezvous point.
Yeah.
If it really started popping off, I think like right away, I'd grab whatever guns I have in my house, get a few people, and you gotta go. Like if you're gonna go to Cabela's or Lowe's or wherever, you gotta go right away.
I don't need,
Because the longer you wait, more worse and worse it gets.
I think that you just have all the stuff already. The best situation or the best scenario is that you just have everything you kind of need already and you just go.
Well, see, that's what's really cool about everyone doing construction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
tools and
Even
Yeah, what do we think in Tree Forge? We could have like a mansion,
like
concrete driveway right up to it.
the
yeah.
fact that like at my
Call up Metrocon.
yeah, or at a shop, someone has like 10 boxes of screws, 10 of the big boxes of screws, and like screw guns and hammers and nails and lumber, and like even if it's just a little bit, you still have, or even at least having all the tools.
Dude, that's the nice part. I'd be going downstairs digging through all Kenton shit, dude.
Or even I when I got my demo saw,
Yeah.
I was like, this is, for cutting rebar, concrete. But also, if I ever needed this to like breach a door, that's a pretty good tool to have.
Yeah, very true.
Shoving notes underneath the door.
Hurry up.
So I don't know. I just love thinking about that type of stuff though. It's just super
yeah.
fun.
Hypotheticals.
Yeah,
Dude,
especially fun stuff.
ours was, me and my mom used to always say this one, you win the lottery.
No. We're doing that one at a later date, so don't even spoil
All right,
it.
all right.
We're doing that one. That's going to be one of the next ones. So I have like a whole like kind of scenario
You
planned out.
got to bring me back for that one. I've thought about it way too much.
Okay. I have like a little path I take myself on, and I have a conclusion that you probably would have, not the average person probably would never think of. So that's one of the next ones. That's
Yeah,
one of
you're
the next
saving that
ones.
one for later.
Yeah, I'm saving that one for another episode. So let's see. We've been going here for an hour and a half already, and it's already 9:30. So, bam, there's all of us chilling. Let's check the where's the little pop out chat. Yeah. So we answered all that. So, anyways, I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
It's pretty fun,
Zombie apocalypse, get a boat.
dude. That is.
I can't believe I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, that's a pretty common hypothetical.
Well, and in what is it, World War Z? Everyone that's safe is on a Navy ship.
Oh yeah, I actually did see a movie.
And those are crazy zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I seen one movie. Then they send out a bunch of teams to go and like try figure it out and get it to stop.
You know, it's another really good movie that, especially if nobody's ever watched it, to go watch this Day After Tomorrow. You
Yeah.
ever see that movie?
Yeah, the ship with the wolves on it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
You need to watch it. It's good.
It's kind of eerie though.
Yeah.
isn't it?
So pretty much what happens is like, you know how like climate change, like, the Earth is getting warmer.
Yeah.
Well, something happens and the Earth actually goes into an ice age.
Oh really?
Yeah. And like this one kid, it follows this kid. It's Jake Gyllenhaal. The
Oh
same
yeah.
kid
Yeah,
from
yeah.
October Skies.
Yeah.
It's like him, and he's like goes to New York for something with him and his friends, and his dad's like a climatologist or whatever the word is, and his dad's like, you're not gonna make it south.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna die. So you have to hunker down. And so he's like in New York City.
Mm.
He's stuck in New York City. So it's good though.
Yeah, I'll have to
If
give it
no
a
one's
watch.
ever seen Day After Tomorrow, I think it's Chloe's favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. I've watched it a couple of times, but it was like I don't know what date it came out, but when it was fairly new.
Let's see.
But I remember the scene with the wolves and like the library, and then like everyone's trying to flee to the south, so everyone's like illegally crossing into Mexico.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the kind of funny.
Let's see when it came out. 2004. It's a pretty good movie. I liked it just
Yeah,
for
it's
like
interesting.
conversation type stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's good. Like they're stuck in a building or something, and like they're trying to stay warm, so they start making a fire, and they start stuffing. There's like a homeless guy,
Yeah.
and the homeless guy's like is like stuffing his clothes full of paper, and like, what are you doing? He's like, when you're homeless, you're living out here alone. He goes, you figure out ways to stay warm. So they all start like stuffing their clothes with paper,
Yeah.
and they need food. And he's like, you can always look in the garbage. There's always food in the garbage.
Yeah.
Like, so it's cool, and I love that's kind of one of the movies that kind of made
Yeah,
me.
maybe zombie apocalypse. You bring like one seasoned homeless guy with you,
Yeah.
to teach you like how to survive on the streets.
Pick a random homeless dude up.
Yeah, but he's got to look like he's been living on the streets for a while. You don't want someone who
Yeah,
is
but
an
what if he's
amateur.
crazy?
Just feed him to the zombies, I guess.
Dude, that's like
Trip him
the,
to slow him to the zombies down.
yeah. Huck 'em out your truck and keep cruising.
What did she say? To be more realistic, though. What? I need glasses.
A
Dude.
civil
I can't
unrest
even see it.
situation is more realistic, and all the people are going. All the people are going out. You got to be ready before it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that went pretty good. I hope
Yeah.
anybody watching liked it. We're gonna be doing more stuff like this, more live streams. I think we have one tomorrow night with Girth Master over here. I think Girth Master is Matthew. But
Yeah.
tomorrow night is going to be current events and stuff like that. So we're going to be talking about that stuff tomorrow night. And then hopefully I might be able to record some stuff on Sunday. And then hopefully Dexter will be back with a topic. So me and him can pop off another one some point in time. He was supposed to be here tonight too. We have a whole nother mic set up already. Right here. They have it all ready. So we can have 4 people in here. But Dexter didn't want to show up.
Guys got better.
Oh,
better
Girth
things going
Master
on.
is Trez. Dude,
Oh, it's Trez.
Trez. We are okay. So something pops off. Trez, you're with us. Okay. We need a pilot.
Yeah, we need that help or that plane you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're claiming you. All right. Oh,
He's first round
no,
draft.
or I knew that was not Trez. Trying to
Wait.
play games over here. Girth Master is either Scotty or it's Matthew. I know that name.
So Orbit's Trez.
Yeah, Orbit's definitely Trez because that's who.
This is too much. Girth Master's confused.
No, they're messing with each other.
We got a fake Trez.
Almost.
You're missing all of our notes.
Yeah, well, we'll be there. You're intruding on our live stream here.
Well,
What?
yeah, Dallas is a bad note.
Well, we were busy talking about fun stuff. But yeah, we can pop it off with that. So anyways, check out my channel. Matthew didn't get banned for being too good at games. All right. Anyways, guys, I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you guys for checking out. We'll see